And welcome back, Vol Nation. Your Tennessee Volunteers rested up, hopefully, Bob.
Yeah.
Coming off a bye week, heading out to Fayetteville to get them hogs from Arkansas. And Sam Pittman's club is kind of an odd one.
Yeah. Pittman's a good guy, but
Everybody loves him. Nobody talks bad about Sam.
yeah, especially if we beat him.
Love him more.
I'll be liking him even more. Yeah, Tim, they're an odd team. We predicted them to be not predicted. I won't say that. We said they looked like they was a surprise team.
Well, after Oklahoma State game, everybody's like, what?
They seem to be putting up a lot of yardage. Just points ain't matching the yardage, and we'll talk about a little bit about why we think that is here in a few minutes. But and then the defense is always kind of middle of the road, seems like. They're never, really bad, and they're never great. They're no Tennessee VOLS defense, that's for sure.
That's true, Bob. I think you showed me an interesting stat just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I think according to one website, we lead the country. I think it's 2.8 yards per play against us.
Well, I think that was through 3 games. Through 4, I think we're up at 3.1.
Okay, well, maybe 3.1. That one website may not be updated. So we're killing it, man. And I think Arkansas's like same statistics, like 5.5.
Yeah. We know, Bob, just for a second, I don't want to jump too far off, but when Josh first got here, we had a lot of Tennessee fans said we would never have a great defense under Heupel because you can't have it with the style of offense that he runs. And we said it then, and we've said it on the podcast since that that's not true.
Right.
You just can't go by total yards. You can't go by total anything. You got to go by yards per play or points per play defensively. And we also said a big key to this, because we're going to be out there so much, is they had to recruit depth, develop depth. And now, 4 years later, depth is really our calling card on defense.
Right.
It
just goes to show you, Tim, that Josh Heupel watches our podcast.
Well, not Bob. Don't be silly. Yeah, Josh, I'll get back with you later. Just have Tim call me and I'll give him the game plan.
He's always bugging.
See me.
He's always bugging us. Give me want to get more info. Give me more info. I want come on, Josh.
But now, in all seriousness, though, man, they've turned this thing around, and it's a fun defense. The offense was fun to watch day one.
Yeah.
Now the defense is fun to watch.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're one of the most exciting teams in college football. And the excitement is going a little west and landing down in Fayetteville. Like I said a minute ago, Bob, what do we have to look forward to from Arkansas? How are we going to beat Arkansas? Because we're going to beat them.
Yeah, I'm really, really good about this game, Tim. In fact, we had the open date. We get some guys healed up. We get some freshmen, some more reps in practice. Some other guys that maybe needed some reps to get better. But I think that was big. Arkansas not having the open date. They've played some tough games. Played a tough game last week at Auburn.
Coming off a couple of SEC ball games, they're kind of beat up. I know they're definitely beat up at the tight end position. They're walking wounded out there.
3 guys that's banged up. As of this recording, we don't have the injury report for this week, but as of this moment, they don't know who's in and who's out. But either way, I think their top 3 tight ends are hurt in some form or fashion. That's not good.
Yeah, so that means if nothing else, you're probably not going to see much max protect.
Right.
And from their offensive line issues and some quarterback issues, what we get into a little bit, they need it.
Yeah, let's discuss their offense, Tim, and what we've seen. And it all comes down to Tavian Greens, I think it's
Halen.
Yeah. I watched him quite a bit. I've watched a little bit of their games. Interesting guy. He can make some big plays.
And runner.
He's a good runner.
He's the leading rusher. He's top 10 rusher after 3 weeks. I don't know if he still is or not.
He will run around, and then sometimes he will, make that throw that where they make a big play off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be critical for our defense to, number one, stay in their lanes, which is something Ronnie Garner's always preaching. And just, force him to throw it. And I think we will, man. The kid,
Yeah, let's talk about him for a second.
yeah, let's talk about him.
What have you seen from Taylor Green, Bob?
Imagine throwing a freshman out there that's talented, maybe a high school guy, you know, because the guy acts like he is just don't know what's going on. He locks in on his number one receiver, which is Armstrong, a lot.
Yeah, by far his favorite receiver.
And he locks in on one dude. I mean, whoever that number one target is, that's who he's going to.
Yeah, he's going through progressions or basically one guy, and then I'm running, and who's doing the scramble drill with me?
His completion percentage is not great, and it's because
54%.
he's locking into that guy. If somebody else is running wide open, a lot of times he's not hitting them.
Yeah, he may be very accurate. He may be a lot more accurate than 54%. But when you're always choosing the hard throws,
yeah,
instead of the easy ones, and he's like you said, Bob. I watched it myself. Yeah, he's out of there quick. The offensive line stinks, and he's not helping them either.
Yeah, now their tackles look decent. Not fantastic, but their tackles look decent. Looks like their really problem is their interior offensive line is not pass blocking very well.
The pocket's getting collapsed on top of them.
So Eason, Omar Lot is going to eat in this game. Whether they get sacks or not, they will. I do think they will cause him to flush big time. I feel in the kid he don't. He holds on the ball too long. He's always trying to make that play when it's not always there. He's bad for. You could easily see him throwing a pick six on this, in this game. Fumbling the ball because he's held on to it too long. He don't always feel pressure very well either.
No, I mean, and this kid come from Boise, you know. I would have thought he'd be more prepared for this.
I don't know if it's the system.
He's kind of got a shell shock right now.
I don't know if he's just not mentally into the system, and he's just like, I could see them going to another quarterback before long, because I just don't think he's got it at this point. He needed probably a year.
And that's the problem with the transfers. I mean,
you bring them into play.
You bring them into play right now, but sometimes that don't mean they're ready right now. Even a good transfer quarterback, you know, look how much better Hendon Hooker was year 2 versus year 1. And I'm not saying he was good year 1, really good year 1, but he took it up another notch second year in the system once he relearned what was going on.
Yeah.
And Taylor Green right now, he'll bust you on a big play every now and then, but he's lost.
Yeah, he's struggling mentally, and I guess that's one reason why they're having a lot of yardage. I mean, they seem to be moving the ball, running the ball, passing, but they're not getting the end zone. And for one, they're 107th in the country in red zone, efficiency.
And that's something killed us last year.
Yeah, and they're almost every single one of their scores have been on the ground too. So when they get inside the 20, look for them to run. And I don't think they're going to be able to run against us, Tim.
Well, no, our rush defense has been great pretty much since day 1 here.
Yeah. And Arkansas struggled last week to run. They've been running really well. Jackson, I think, was up our number 1 or 2 in the league in rushing. But
yeah, their tailback,
faced Auburn last week, and Auburn pretty well shut him down, I think. I have the number in front of me here, but I'm thinking he had like maybe 50-something yards rushing or something like that. It wasn't much. Way off his average.
Yeah, and you know, of those 16 touchdowns they've had rushing, I think half of them may have come in one game. Now look, I know we've padded our stats against a couple of teams too, so I can't say nothing. But when half of your rushing touchdowns come against one team that's probably got a defensive lineman
my size.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's an exaggeration, but I'm much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a comedy show, not football. That's what I do best. We're quick to throw a few stats out there.
Yes,
the heck out here, Tim. Arkansas passing yards 27th, rushing yards 21st, scoring 35th, scoring defense 44th, which is not bad. But I'll tell you what, you said it before we shot this podcast, Tim. a lot of these stats are very skewed right now. I've never seen so many bad games being played the first
month
4
of the
weeks,
season.
you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of these stats will start making more sense here in about 3 weeks,
2 to
4
3
weeks.
weeks when people are inside conferences
Yeah,
only.
when they've played about 2 or 3 games in conference.
Yeah, you can get a little bit more out of these stats. But right now, they're just interesting, but it can be deceiving.
An interesting stat, before I forget, Tennessee leads the country third down uh, conversion defense. That was something we wanted to focus on in the offseason. We said that was something big that we needed to work on there. Uh, and, you know,
Well,
I
so
think
far,
number
so
one in the
good.
country is pretty good.
It is. They, even with bad competition, I'll take the number one ranking any day of the week.
Yeah.
Um, See, Bob, one other thing about Arkansas, I will say this. I think they've got a lot of interceptions so far for the year. So we have to be careful for that. And Nico's, who I expect to have one of his best games this week. I might go into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But once again, I think they had I think they've had 8 interceptions. They may have gotten 5 in one single game also. So,
That Auburn game, if I remember correctly, was the game I'm thinking of. That was some that was back and forth, kind of. Nobody wanted to win that ball game. Uh, nobody was like, "Hey, you win it." No, I was like, both teams had money on the game.
yeah. The biggest thing is, though, if they play 9 more times, Auburn's going to win.
That's right. That's right. That's what Hugh Freeze said. I couldn't believe he said that. I mean, come on, not more time.
Yeah. If he says anything more stupid, more dumb than that, when you keep your mouth shut, he needs to go ahead and run for office. Because, I mean,
I know,
I
yeah.
really don't see nobody but a politician say something
That's stupid.
that idiotic.
Yeah, come on, man.
Even if you believe it, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I mean, now even if you believe that's stupid. But anyway, we don't want to talk about Auburn. But that was one of the kind of a dirt dooley kind of level stupid comment right there.
Yeah,
But
keep that name out of your mouth. Yeah. Okay, Boo. Bob, top cornerback for them, Braxton. I believe he's still going to be out this week, correct?
as of this podcast recording, it looks like yes, he will be out. That's a big loss for him. Which now he's been out, I think, every game this year. So he may have played week 1. I'm not sure, but he's been out a little while. So yes, he's out. I think Singletary's been playing in his place. Well, actually, they've been rotating a couple different guys in his place. Metcalf, I think he leads them in interceptions. He's got 3. Danico Slaughter's probably, he may be their best secondary guy. I don't know if you remember that name, Tennessee VOLS fans.
Yeah, my understanding is he had kind of a rough week 1 and has bounced back since then and playing pretty well for him. They're pretty happy at the
I
moment.
singled in on him last week. He was playing pretty good. I mean, he was, making tackles, had an interception. Uh, I was just kind of curious how he was playing, and I was kind of watched him. He seemed to be doing pretty good for him, playing nickelback.
Yeah, he's back in that starter position. For them, I think Bob, their leading sacker's only got 2 sacks.
Yeah.
Landon Jackson, so they're not getting a whole lot of pass rush.
He's
Then again, stats wise, though, we don't have a lot of sacks.
no, we don't. Yeah, the leading tackler, Landon Jackson, 6'7", 280. Not only does he get to the quarterback, but he bats some balls too. I think he's knocked 2 of them down so far.
Yeah, that's a big kid right there.
Yeah, that's huge. But no force there on defense as far as like we got to be like super concerned about. Honestly, Tim, if it wasn't being a road game, I would feel like super confident in this game. You just hope, like we said, they put up a lot of yardage. Um, you know, you don't want to, I don't know if you want to play teams that's throwing up a lot of yardage because sooner or later they're going to
Get
figure it out. You know what I mean? Sooner or later they're going like, hey, they're going to score on these drives that they're going for 40 and 50 yards instead of just going 40 and 50.
They're going to go 60 and get an end zone.
Get in the end zone. But I don't
I
think
don't think it's going to start this week.
I don't think they start.
No, they are 94th in the country in sacks allowed right now, and we talked about putting part of that on Talon, but
A lot of it's on that. But yeah.
but that offensive line, I see this being a game where normally I would say a running quarterback, let's get our linebackers maybe spying him a little bit,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we will somewhat. But with their tight end so beat up, and they're not going to be able to bring a lot of extra help to block, I would almost want to turn the dogs loose.
Well, you know,
A quarterback that makes questionable decisions,
yes.
let's make him make a lot of decisions.
I'm trying to remember my predictions on the last video, Tim. I think it was Pierce 3 sacks over the next 2 games. I think that's
Yeah,
very.
I think you said that.
I think that's very possible. What was the other one? Do you remember?
No, I do remember calling you Nostradamus.
Yeah, I do remember that too.
That's
But yeah. I thought Carter would have a big game the next couple of games. He's fast.
yeah, Ernie.
Yeah, Aaron Carter. I think he will track down Green. I think we'll have some interceptions this game. I think it's a turnover game. I think we may just roll. I think we just may roll in this game. Like I said, if it wasn't at home, I feel so much better about this game. But I feel like we're just going to roll, man. I think our defense is going to stop the run. He's going to run around trying to make plays. We're going to cause at least a fumble from him. He's going to throw at least one pick, and it could be like a pick six type pick. I think our defensive ends eat. I think our defensive tackles eat in this game. Um, I think we have a outstanding defensive performance. We might give up a play or two here and there.
Generally will with a run quarterback.
Yeah, because sometimes he'll keep eyeing that guy that he's watching, and
Sometimes they'll throw it over your head then.
Yeah.
To get out and about.
But
Offensively, Bob, I don't know about you. I kind of expect them though to play a little bit more
straight up,
Yeah,
I agree.
And that's going to allow Nico to kind of run the show this time. I think we'll see his biggest production of the year, which I think we're going to run the ball a little less this game right here.
Man, this could be a get right type game. I know we're not in a bad spot to get right, but it could be one of them games where we put it all together. You know what I'm saying? Like the offense plays up to its total potential. Defense plays its total potential. We have some numbers like sacks and stuff like that some sports center type game.
Well, it could. The first few weeks of the season, I've kind of been thinking, well, what is the other team going to do to kind of give us issues? Probably the glass half empty kind of guy.
Yeah.
Not because I didn't think we were going to win, because I never thought that at all. But my cup runneth over when it comes to Arkansas. I think this is going to be a game that we feast on both sides of the ball.
It's on the road. That worries me. But
Night game.
Yeah, on the road. You know how it is in the conference, man. But
yeah, I just got a call for holding.
yeah, but not. Well, I mean, no, you probably didn't tell me. You got kind of a red shirt on. I think you'll be fine.
Okay, yeah.
No holding for you. You're good. You got a score prediction? Unless you got something else.
No, I'm going to give you a score prediction. Okay. We'll go 42-10.
Okay. You know what? We didn't discuss this beforehand. I'm gonna go 48-10. I just don't think they score much. I think they get us for a big long play, and either scores on that play or puts them in position to score. They move the ball a little bit. They may get us some, 300 yards total.
This probably means we win by 1 point, and I'm fine with that too.
Yeah, as long as we get a W. Yeah, right. I don't know why I feel so confident about this game, but I feel good.
Well, the open dates did it for me before I saw the schedule.
Yeah,
I never had to worry about Arkansas because of the open date.
Right.
Josh is 3-0 coming off of them here, and I think he's going to be 4-0.
I agree.